This is the facelifted Mazda CX-60. Now, it may not look like much has changed on the outside, but Mazda tells us that they've done lots of small incremental changes on the things that you can't see, everything under the skin. But has it made any difference? Hello, my name is Barrie Ferreira. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we'll be doing a drive review and test drive of this, the facelifted Mazda CX-60.
The CX-60 is Mazda's flagship SUV, and they are introducing this refreshed and updated version of the car. Starting from 706,700 Rand for the dynamic rear-wheel drive, 888,700 Rand for the individual all-wheel drive, and 1,085,100 Rand for the Takumi all-wheel drive. Mazda seems to be positioning it as a more premium product. Now, to see whether Mazda has succeeded or failed in their mission to offer a better driving experience for this model, we travelled from Johannesburg to the Pilanesberg in Northwest. To kick things off, I first hopped into the 3.3 inline-6 diesel Takumi pre-updated version. Upon our arrival at the destination, we hopped into the 2.5 litre naturally aspirated inline-4 petrol individual. And that's where we'll pick things up from.
So here we are in the updated version of the Mazda CX-60. Now effectively what this car is, it's not a brand new car. It is a bunch of little refinements here and there, adjustments to the steering, adjustments to the suspension, the throttle response, all these little things that Mazda have taken from customer and media feedback and implemented in the engineering of the car. Now, can you feel the difference? Now we've just spent about 2 hours driving from Pretoria here to the Pilanesberg Nature Reserve, and this is the first time that we are driving the updated version. And I must say it's weird, but all the little differences that Mazda have made, all the little suspension updates, the steering, which in the older car, or not the older car, the previous version of it was on the heavier side. Not to say it was bad, but I thought to myself, I'd like it to be a little bit lighter. Effectively, if you are marketing this as a more luxurious car, more premium car, as Mazda is doing, then I'd like some lighter steering, and that is exactly what they have done. The steering feels absolutely bang on in my opinion in terms of its weighting, and it just makes for a more effortless driving experience. I mean, we're driving here on some pretty rutted roads, and whereas in the previous car you probably would have felt a little bit more harshness, this version of the car is feeling definitely more refined. So I think if Mazda have set out to improve the car little by little, and they've certainly done it. And you may wonder, at what extra cost does this come if I'm getting all of these extra upgrades? Well, Mazda South Africa has absorbed all the costs, so this car in its updated fashion costs absolutely nothing more than you would have paid for the previous CX-60. So I think overall they have done a magnificent job in updating the car to a point where I think customers will definitely be a little bit more happy. But as you can see here, we are driving through the dam, if my cameraman can point over there as well. Maybe we'll see some game, who knows, but we are enjoying our time here with the CX-60. So if there's anything else to report back on, well then I'll deliver that feedback back to you. So let's see if we can find any game.
Now that we have our initial driving impressions, it's time to have a little look around the car. Now, in the video I refer to this particular car as the 3.3 diesel. I was a numpty, it is the 2.5 petrol. So let's have a look what the CX-60 2.5 individual has to offer aesthetically.
So let's have a little walk around the Mazda CX-60. Now this makes use of Mazda's Kodo design, that's how they term it, and you can see it's distinctly Japanese, I think, in its styling. I've always liked the styling of the CX-60, of course, looks being subjective, but at the end of the day, I do believe that I think that it is very, very nice. And what I do like about the car as well, it has some nice presence about it. It's not overbearing on the road, but you see that it does have some presence, and I think that it's a positive aspect about the car. It does have 20-inch wheels, different wheel designs that you can choose from, of course. So there is that. And then walking around the car, of course, this being more of a family car, it's got towing capacity for your trailer should you want to tow anything of that nature as well. So I think overall the styling in the CX-60 gets a nod from me, and the exhaust pipes with the fruity 3.3 litre diesel engine that I'm sure you have heard by this point. I don't know where I've put it in the video. Having a quick look at the boot with my back in the back. We fitted lots of luggage in the back, so no problems here. I'm not entirely sure of the boot size, but I do think you'll be having plenty of space here. Indeed, here you've got your 12-volt socket should you need that, but of course you can just close it by the push of a button. Now, looking on the inside of the car, we've made it nice and dirty. Here we can see, in terms of the upgrades, well, there isn't too much to be said in terms of upgrades, and you can see that it's recognizing me, so it's changing my seating position, and that's what I'll get to in a little while, is this facial recognition that the CX-60 has that no other manufacturer has in their cars. But the same styling pretty much as you get with the outgoing CX-60. I do believe this is a little bit different, the infotainment system, but overall the same materials. This would have been leather in the outgoing one, so they've changed that, I do see. But this kind of, I don't really know what it is, faux carbon fiber-ish. It's not really faux carbon fiber. I think this could have just been plain silver, but that's nitpicking. The seats, the ventilated seats, of course, here as well, as you can see, with all the different settings that you can have there. So overall, I think the interior is very nice. You've got your sunroof over here that's closed at the moment, but yes, nothing too different here in the CX-60 in terms of upgrades on the interior. As I said earlier on, this is purely a beneath the surface upgrade, but those incremental changes having been made, I think they do add up at the end of the day. But you won't be dissatisfied with the interior here in the CX-60, I don't believe. Right, so what I thought I'd demonstrate now, and excuse the sun which is directly in us, is this feature of the Mazda. Now, Mazda is the only manufacturer in the world that has facial recognition to effectively customize all your settings as soon as it recognizes you enter the car. So what we do, we go down to settings, and we go down to driver personalization system, and then we add a new driver. So I do believe I'll be one of the first here. So effectively doing that, it takes about 5 minutes. Now you have to put in your height. So I'm not the tallest person in the world. I'm about 1.7 meters. Now what it's going to do, it's going to effectively put me in the driving position that it thinks, based on my height, I should be, as well as the mirrors. So it's going to be, so my seat is moving forward, my back's just, and I'm being raised up, as you can see. So moving as per it thinks is best. Now it says the seat is now in the recommended ideal position. Right, now what we do is effectively you need to adjust it the way that you think would be best. So I'm pretty happy with it, actually. I'd probably just adjust my seat a little bit with my backrest, put my seat a little bit down, a little bit further back. In terms of the mirrors, I think it's all good, and in terms of the steering, I think it's all good as well. So then you say save. Okay, then it's okay. Now it has to do a face scan. So now I just twist my head, recognition complete. So that's done, associated with your driver profile. And there you have it. Now you just edit your driver's name, etc. Basically, it can effectively save all your preferences, even up to your climate control, your favorite radio station, the way you like your seat, your steering wheel positioned, up to 200 different settings, I believe it can do. So it is mighty impressive, and it's it's completely convenient, and I think that's why Mazda decided to do it. So if your wife or your friends like to drive the car, they can all save their individual preferences, and Bob's your uncle. There you have a perfectly suited driving position and climate control as suited to you. So welcome to day 2 of our Mazda CX-60 adventure. Now we are busy heading back to Joburg. We've spent a lovely evening in the Pilanesberg area, and today we are sampling to a greater extent the 2.7 or 2.5 litre rather inline engine that Mazda has available for the CX-60, and this indeed is the updated version. Now yesterday it was at very low speeds that we got to experience the car, so we couldn't deliver too much judgment, but today, now that we've experienced some more open roads, I think it's time to discuss what the difference is between the two. And the first thing I'd like to point out is the engine. So yesterday we sampled the 3.3 diesel engine, and that I think gave lots of character to the car. I think that it offered a really charming aspect to the CX-60. Compared it to the 2.5 petrol engine, you definitely miss that torque. The diesel engine just absolutely takes off, and you have that nice low down torque that the diesel engine offers, whereas this foot down just appears that the car doesn't get going as quickly. So in that respect, I actually prefer the diesel version. Just keeps on revving, but nothing happens.
Yep.
But as I mentioned yesterday, the little refinements, the incremental increases in suspension softness, the lighter steering, and the overall noise, harshness and volume of the car is definitely improved. In terms of wind noise, yesterday it was something that we really took note of, and that was the fact that you could hear the wind noise on here. In this car, we definitely realized that it is a lot better in that respect, for sure. See, like getting up this hill now, it's tricky, and I miss that that diesel engine. However, I think, if you're choosing between the two, fuel consumption, I think the diesel will definitely be better off than this petrol version. Overall, I think that it would be a better car, and if you get the updated version of the CX-60 in the Takumi design, the top of the range version of the CX-60, I think you'll definitely feel the difference in that car as well.
How do I sum up the refreshed CX-60 then? Well, I think it is mission accomplished in terms of making it an overall better driving experience. I really believe the 2.5 individual needs some extra form of power, albeit a turbocharger or a hybrid system that produces extra electric power instead of just the mild hybrid that it makes use of. It really struggles to shift its 2.3 tons of weight. In that light, I would say the 3.3 diesel of the Takumi is my pick. Although the interior isn't bad, I think it could feel a bit more premium, especially at R1,000,000. I also think it would have made more sense to compare apples with apples, since we compared the pre-updated diesel with the updated petrol. Petrol versus petrol or diesel versus diesel I think would have highlighted the updates better perhaps. With that being said, the differences were indeed notable. And with Mazda's 5-year unlimited kilometer service plan, warranty and roadside assistance, it shows that Mazda has immense confidence in their product.
So that is where I call it a day. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. If you liked it, make sure to share and subscribe. There'll be plenty more content coming your way in the not too distant future. So until next time, bye bye.